Welcome to Star-Spangled Tampa Bay. I'm Allie Corey. What better way to celebrate today than with a tribute to the red, white, and blue? And for that, we went to the place with Florida's largest flag. It's in Clearwater at a business where you will find a healthy dose of patriotism.
It's an inspiring item because when we were building this thing, what was unique about it is we wanted to make a statement. We wanted to make a statement for the veterans, the first responders, the people that have lost their lives and given me the freedoms that I have, and every American out there. I think it's just gone by the wayside, and there's too much going on in the world, and it's been lost. I can look at the history of Harley Davidson in World War I, World War II. You know, you have to go to places like the Smithsonian Institute or up in Milwaukee to the museum to understand how that motorcycle helped win the war. It gave us our freedoms today, and how those veterans are so attached to that, and those first responders are so attached to that motorcycle because of the way it saved life. They come together under one unity, and that's that flag. What's 215 feet above sea level is the flagpole, but it's the flag that's the largest. It's 60 feet by 120 feet, and I also have a flag that's 50 by 100. Those two flags we interchange according to the weather and so on and so forth. Okay, but they are the largest American flags flown in the state of Florida. We're proud to have that out there every single day. And when you see somebody go by one of these roads and they will just stop and they will pull in here and they say, I can't believe that's here. That's all I want, is them to recognize America. We have people from the military base across the pond of Tampa Bay over there that will send me a picture from when they're doing post because they can see it from over there. And they are so proud that somebody took the time to remember who they were. I mean, even today, I had a gentleman come up to me and he goes, "Thank you for that flag. It means so much to me." It's simple to realize what a great country we're in. Somebody gave you those freedoms. So why not try to give it back to somebody else?
What a patriotic attitude. And now we want to recognize one of the men from the greatest generation. Our Linda Hurtado has his story. And when you turn 100, you have a lot of American-made stories to tell.
For Marvin Leapson, turning a century old doesn't feel a whole lot different.
I get up in the morning, I feel like it's just the same.
But the 100 years now behind him were anything but typical. In 1942, while the country was fighting wars on two fronts, the Detroit native marched into an Army recruiting office.
I went down to volunteer. They said, "Go back to school. We'll call you up when we want you." So I went back for a semester, and they called me up.
Marvin was assigned to Airborne.
I didn't know what it was, and it was just something new to learn.
He served on the Pacific Front in New Guinea and the Philippines as an airborne engineer, repairing runways bombed by Japan.
Our group assignment was to get the airstrip in immediately in use so that the airplanes could land and to reload and go bomb. And while we were there, the Japanese were shooting at us from down the mountain.
That bulletproof smile earned him a reputation amongst other soldiers.
I would always smile. One of the officers came up. "We tried to wipe the smile off your face, and we failed. That's you. We accept you for that."
After the war, Marvin returned to school and graduated as a mechanical engineer. He worked at the Bettis Atomic Lab in Pittsburgh, building nuclear submarines under Admiral Hyman Rickover, the so-called father of the nuclear navy.
I was a design engineer. They give me a pencil and a paper and says, "This is the problem. How do you fix it?" I wrote the procedure and I built the core assembly. I always like working, doing something that's almost impossible. They would let us try anything.
He says that determination and unwavering patriotism helped the greatest generation earn their name.
I think that's the way we were brought up, all of us.
And as Marvin reflects on a long and happy life, he shares the secret that made it all possible.
Having parents that are living for a long life and keeping your health. Health is worth more than money.
Despite all of his military and professional accolades, Marvin says he's most proud of his family. His children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren were all there for his party. Now, nothing says America quite like a barbecue, and we want to introduce you to a local veteran serving up high-end barbecue out of his one-of-a-kind food truck. The man behind the Liberty Smokehouse has quite a story.
I genuinely want to, touch people's lives through food. Lives can be touched, and then they can feel like they've touched a life just by eating that food. That's what I want. We are the Liberty Smokehouse, and we are bougie barbecue. It's French refined, Southern rooted, and Latin in flair. Culinary began at 8 years old. My grandfather was a chef during World War II. Open-faced roast beef sandwiches was my first thing at 8 years old. Taking me on this amazing journey to where I was a private chef. I apprenticed under Master Chef Peter Timmons, one of the greatest chefs, if you ask me, in the world to exist. Took me to France to get a master's in culinary from Institut Paul Bocuse. Came back to the States, kind of seeking this set of ideals that lays in Europe, where food comes from and why they cook and what it gives them it feeds their soul when they cook for others. And there was something that I wanted to do, and that's what Liberty does for me. The birth of Liberty was this idea. It comes back from our nonprofit, which is Vets of Success, which we primarily focus on reintegrating homeless, displaced, and second chance veterans. We teach you that through classical French culinary. So they work with us, and then they work with other venues out within the ACF, American Culinary Federation. And the idea behind it is if we can get rid of your bad ingredients and help you find new ones, you're going to be a much beautiful, more presented dish in the world. I was a homeless vet. I've been in those shoes. I have PTSD. Cooking gives me purpose. It gives me an ability to want to live. And, through Liberty, we want to help those find purpose, again, to serve. That bougie barbecue, as we call it, we just go that extra mile. We go back to go forward. We go back. We're a very preservation homestead approach. So we do fermentations. We're doing natural pickling. We're doing brining. All our meats go through a preservation approach. We do some koji inoculations. We do all kinds of things that used to be done to food before the advent of refrigeration. But that was a major role in flavor. That was a major piece in the profiles. It's a 1971 deuce and a half. It's a USMC. It's kind of near and dear to my heart. I myself, a Navy corpsman, combat veteran, part of the Marine Corps for 6 years. And so when I found the truck, I was just like, yes, this is what we're going to do. In the Marine Corps, I loved every aspect of what I did. Loved my brothers, loved my Marine Corps misfits. The logo is actually near and dear to my heart. Ended up losing my younger brother to veteran suicide, and so the 22 stars around the logo pay homage to the 22 a day, or the veterans that have lost their place in this world, who take their lives. Typically, you go to a barbecue restaurant and it's just stuff on a tray. We elevate it with finishing touches, finesse, that fine dining. Those little touches that make the difference, and you going, oh my God, or I don't even want to touch it, it's so beautiful. And then we want people to be able to come here and eat and drink amazing food and make that difference through that tiny little piece. And we're changing lives on both sides of the plate. We're serving food that you can't find anyplace else, and we're serving those who can't find any place else to be.
Doesn't that look delicious? All right, we want to give you all the patriotic feels today. So here now is the Eastern Hillsborough Community Band with a performance of Stars and Stripes Forever. Welcome back. You know, a lot of folks will be setting off their own fireworks tonight, but here's a gentle reminder to be respectful. The noise and the flashes can be triggers for veterans with PTSD.
It's not usually those city scheduled fireworks, you know, from 8 to 9 at night. It's usually those late night into the night fireworks. A lot of veterans suffer with insomnia and have difficulty sleeping. And then when they're trying to go to sleep and those fireworks are popping off in the middle of the night.
There's an event called Escape the Fireworks in Crystal River at the American Legion Post 155. It gives veterans and their families a place to celebrate without the boom and the flashes. And remember, a lot of pets are terrified of fireworks, so keep them inside. Shut the blinds and crank up some music if you can to drown out the noise. And something else to think about? Be sure to clean up any firework debris that's left behind.
Because we have had cases where dogs have eaten what's left of the firework or the sparkler stick that kids, you know, throw down, and that can be very toxic to animals, especially the metals in that.
Better yet, leave the fireworks to the pros. To find out about all the big shows across our area, just log on to fox13news.com and find out where you can take the family to see a dazzling display. It's American ingenuity at its best. Florida's connection to our space history runs deep, starting with Mercury manned missions in the 60s, then Gemini, Apollo, the space shuttle programs of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Then came SpaceX Dragon, and now Starliner. The Boeing Starliner launched in June, and we want you to hear Commander Butch Wilmore moments before launch and his passionate words about our flag and a new chapter in American exploration.
For everybody listening, just a thought. Sonny and I, as we were traveling to the pad, we saw many American flags, and many of you were waving flags at us. And then as we reached the pad, we look up, and of course there's that American flag on the side of the White Room, also one on the side of the rocket itself. And we know that that represents unity and resilience and unified efforts for the common good. And that's what Sonny and I have witnessed this last month. Each of you displaying what this nation's forefathers envisioned, a people committed to God, family, and country, a people who use their gifts and talents for the common good, and are passionate and tough. And we all know that when the going gets tough, and it often does, the tough get going. And you have. And Sonny and I are honored to share this dream of spaceflight with each and every one of you.
Welcome back. What goes perfect with America's pastime? Well, popcorn, of course. And we tagged along with the popcorn master at Tropicana Field for his all-American story.
This good walk is like exercising for you, yeah.
About 12 hours before first pitch every game day at Tropicana Field,
I can do this route in my sleep, look like.
Irvin Whitehead starts his day.
Be too quiet most of the time, yeah. It's just me for at least 6 hours of the day. This is my little spot. Once you get your first pop, it's smooth sailing then.
Irvin is popcorn master at the Trop. He pops all the popcorn for every Rays home game, sometimes in staggering amounts.
One time it was Yankees and Boston came like back to back, and I did about 610 bags.
Irvin moved to St. Petersburg in 1952, once living on the very spot where the stadium sits now.
I grew up on the 6th floor. I said, you see that palm tree right there? He said, yeah. I said, that's where my house was.
He's been a baseball fan since he was little.
I always said, boy, I wish we had a team school close by where I could go, because everything was further away, you know. Wasn't nothing in the South, you know.
Not too long after his wish came true, Irvin started working with the team.
March the 27th was my 18th year. First, I started out by volunteering because I wanted to get in to see a game.
But he wasn't always popcorn master. He scored this position after winning a popping competition with another employee 5 years ago.
I think the guy ahead of me had 43 and I did 63 bags.
Irvin never misses a game and loves seeing fans enjoy his carefully crafted kernels.
It makes you smile and say, yeah, they look like they're enjoying it. Yeah. Without popcorn, you say it don't seem baseball, it don't seem American-like, do it?
Just don't bug him after a loss, though.
When we lose, man, I'm down in the dumps. I guess that's part of it. That's me. Like I'm really like I feel like I'm part of the team, you know.
Popcorn and baseball. It's as synonymous as Irvin Whitehead and a good day's work.
To me personally, it's the desire to do it, you know, and being proud about what you do, you know.
Irvin turns 80 years young this November, and since we're in the baseball spirit, here again is the Eastern Hillsborough Community Band with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We hope you've enjoyed this little slice of Americana. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. And as we go, we want to leave you with the full rendition of the Eastern Hillsborough Community Band's performance of America the Beautiful. Enjoy.